So, a fan of the channel wanted me to react to this specific episode of My Strange Addiction. And since this is like the second request we've ever received on this channel, I thought, why not? But I need you to understand something before we even get started. I genuinely thought I had seen everything the internet had to offer. That was my first mistake because this video is not normal. So it started off innocently enough. Music playing, you see a woman doing her self-care routine, getting older, cardio, whatever is her skincare. But of course, I still kept my guard up because I've watched My Strange Addiction before. Now, let me just go ahead and explain what went down because out of nowhere, she casually says, I'm addicted to semen facials.
And I'm addicted to semen facials.
Yeah, that's the moment for me. The video should have ended, the credits should have rolled, cut the power, delete the server, because I feel like this is not something you should be putting out there, lady. You should not be putting this out there for the whole world to see. But no, for her, that was the beginning. And she said it like she's talking about moisturizer. There was no hesitation. There was no shame. There was no awareness. Just, yeah, I do skincare, and this is one of the products I use. Ma'am, that is not skincare. Now, I know I'm not a woman, but I feel like that is a crime to brand something like that. She started off describing it like it's a luxury product review.
I love the way that it feels on my skin. It's nice and smooth, has a very sticky texture to it, and I also love the glow that it gives me at the end of the day.
She loves the glow. The glow? What glow are we talking about right now? There is no skincare aisle in Sephora or in CVS that literally prepares you for this type of conversation.
I like to call my husband semen the product. I usually give myself a semen facial, I would say twice a day. In the mornings, I'll get a fresh batch, which usually means it came directly out of my husband. And then later on in the night, I really love the way that it feels, especially when it's fresh and warm.
She calls it the product. I cannot, like, throughout that whole video, it's stuck in my head. And say what you want, but for me, it somehow gets worse because she explained the routine, talking about twice a day, twice a day. So now we talking about scheduling this like a professional appointment. Like, she's probably waking up in the morning, going to the bathroom, and seeing if she has any in stock. And it's just crazy to me. She's talking about this like it's just something everybody does. I know the show is called My Strange Addiction, and I was prepared to be I was prepared to be bombarded with something out of this world. Look, there are people that get facials all the time. I get it, but it's not something you want to see just being advertised as a skincare routine on national television. At least on YouTube, like it's one of the best things for your health. And as a man, I have to say this: the husband is the most confusing part of this entire ecosystem, but also the most under- understanding part of this entire system. Because when it came down to his reasoning, it made sense. At first he was like, absolutely not, which I thought, thank you, finally, this guy had a normal reaction. But then I started thinking, if it's not him, how is she getting the product? But then he quickly went on to say, like, this man switched up so fast because once the motivation of more sex was put into the equation, he folded. And as a man, I understand why he would fold to that, but you gotta stand by the principle, man. Now, the moment this lady starts showing her before and after pictures, like she's presenting a scientific research, pointing out redness, like that was improvement, I started thinking this woman actually want people to be trying this. Like I see where she was going with this. It's almost like she's trying to convince the vast majority of the audience like that is one of the best thing they could do for themselves, but nah. Truthfully, I mentally checked out when she put it inside of a steamer. A steamer. She mixed it with water, and I quote, her reason was it gets too thick, and she sprayed in her face. Like, I did not need that information to be in my brain. Can you imagine if she walks into any place and it just shine a UV light on her face? That is one of the most, I think that would be one of the most confusing thing you'll ever see. But then again, this is for a fan. Like, you subscribe to my channel, so let's go ahead and finish this video commentary because I might as well be explaining this, but I don't know much about skincare or self-care routine, but I feel like this is a biohazard that should not be a thing. Because I feel like this is just information that nobody ever asked for. But if you thought this video was over, well, you are wrong because of course we're not done. If you watch Strange Addiction, it's all about them coming out to their loved one. Now, she invited her friends over, and thank God her friend's reaction was exactly how a normal person would react to this. Because in her mindset, it already tells you everything you need to know about her. Because she's talking about how she's literally lost friends over this, which I might just want to say, I wonder why, lady. You keep your sperm cube thing inside the freezer. This is why I don't eat or drink at people's house. Like I don't know how people treat their freezer, but can you imagine like you go in her freezer, you thinking this is ice cube and you put it in your water? Oh my gosh. Oh, that is disgusting. Like she froze it into heart-shaped ice cube and calls them noobs. I'm sorry, like that is that is a crime against humanity. Why is this lady going out there advertising this so bad? It is so bad. Like you guys have to watch the whole thing. Like I feel like this episode was psychological warfare because the friend's reaction was what any sane human would do. There was just confused and laughed, and there was like they were just asking like, is this a prank? Which makes complete sense because in what universe would this be considered something serious, like something that you actually just want to be so proud of? But yeah, she was dead ass serious. Even while she was talking to them, she was rubbing the product in her face like she just discovered ancient skincare wisdom and she's trying to share it with them so they can go out and start doing the same thing. And her friends are just sitting there like, yeah, we are not participating in this timeline. And I feel like that's the moment I realized, like, this friendship is probably gonna die too. Because they did not look happy to be part of this. Not over money, not over betrayal, but over Ice Cube. I don't even want to call it Ice Cube. Over whatever, what does she call it? Over Noob's Cube. Yeah, she calls it Noob's Cube. Like, I feel like that was insane. Like the only reason why my reaction is not as loud as I want it to be is probably because I've watched it and I should have done a live reaction because now I have time to process it so I could talk about it. But the way this woman think, because even the video said herself, she does not plan to change. She literally came onto the show to advertise it to the world. Like she genuinely believed like she unlocked some secret skincare methods that the whole world is sleeping on. No, I'm gonna be the first one to say the world is not sleeping on your skincare routine. The world is literally actively choosing peace. Now look, I get it. People do weird skincare routine. There's snail slime, chalk oil, gold flakes. We've seen it all. But this is a different kind of routine that you see on a different kind and different side of the internet. It's not a routine. But yeah, truthfully, I think we've officially reached the point where the internet is starting to test how far we can go as a collective to survive this insanity. Because you know what? I don't think so. I take that back. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on the internet, and every day I discover something weirder. I'm probably gonna bring something even weirder tomorrow. But come on. Like, why is this being broadcast? And to the person who recommended this video, you know who you are. I don't know what I did to you, but I respect the commitment, you know? And I just want you to know we're even now. Peace.